February 14th, 2015, in the Central City National Guard Armory, the best professional wrestlers from around Kentucky will compete for the World Wrestling Alliance Heavyweight Championship. This show is the product of a hard work and dedication put forth by every member of the WWA. This is The War.
The WWA started in 1994. Of course, it wasn't as serious as it is now. It's just me and my brother on a trampoline back then. We were wrestling fans all of our lives, so as any kid does, we got on the trampoline, started wrestling, and it just kind of grew. You know, before too long, we had all the neighborhood kids wrestling, and we would kind of just teach ourselves from what we'd see on television. And then in 2004, when I was 14 years old, my brother bought a ring.
I was introduced to a man named Shelby Adcock, who run a professional wrestling promotion in Central City, the same city I was born and raised in. Shelby Adcock knew how to run a business, and he knew how to run a professional wrestling promotion. So I feel like I was brought in the right way. I bought one of Shelby's rings in 2004, and we studied, and we learned, and we worked, and we acquired some of the greatest wrestlers and greatest minds in professional wrestling. And we formed the WWA, the World Wrestling Alliance.
I met Ray Waddell in school. We actually went to the same school. And I met him, and he told me about how he had a wrestling ring in his backyard and how they did shows. And I kept bugging him every day, constantly asking him questions. And I think after a while I annoyed him because he probably didn't think I was going to show up. And eventually, I showed up one day out of the blue, and I got into it, and they showed me the ropes pretty much of how everything's done at that time.
My brother had a friend named Ray Waddell, and he came over to my house, and I ended up doing something ridiculous, like busting a picture over my head or something. And he's like, you know what, you'd be good at wrestling, so you should come down to my backyard, because we hold wrestling shows back there.
In 2009, I went to an event, and I spoke with Chris Waddell about training. 2 weeks later, I started training, and it just kind of took off from there. Started working backyard shows, and about 9 months after that, we got shut down.
We were out drawing the local promotions. We would have sometimes over 200 people in our backyard just to watch these local kids wrestle and put on these matches. We did that for a few years until the state caught wind of it. Supposedly we were breaking all these rules we had no idea about. We were just kids having fun. And that ended up causing us to make the jump into getting licensed and making everything professional and legit, which that was a battle. My brother went before the board of the state, went before the city councils and everyone fighting for the WWA, and there was a good year and a half there where all we were doing was fighting. We wasn't really running any shows, we wasn't doing anything.
You know, we've got a wrestling ring set up in our backyard. We've got plenty of people participating. Now we're going to make this thing legitimate. I turned into a businessman overnight by attending city council meetings, and tourism office meetings, etc. And it became a constant struggle. It was disheartening to my roster. It was disheartening to me. It hurt us mentally and physically and emotionally. At the end of the day, it made us stronger, though. Where we're at now, we would not be here if it weren't for those battles.
Then in December 2011, we did a show called The Return, where we finally did our first legit show in Central City, where we ran all those years as kids. And that was pretty cool because we drew about 200 people on our first show, and it just kept building and building from there.
From then on out, it's been show after show, nothing but adrenaline, nothing but hard work, and we are where we are now.
As the organization grew larger, more athletes got involved.
I was working at Purdue at the time, and Nick Depp, he worked there as well, and he introduced me to it. He gave me a flyer for 0 Hour, and he said that, you know, come come try out. Maybe you'd be good at it, and that's what I did. Watched my first show, 0 Hour, where Dakota France won his first national title. And then from there, I went to my first tryouts. Pretty much from there, I just started wrestling, and I was good at it.
I started wrestling when I was 14 years old. Started off doing like collegiate, amateur wrestling. I wrestled all throughout high school. I went to state tournaments. I ended up winning a state title at 135 pounds. I had a scholarship to go to college to wrestle. I ended up turning it down to go to the Marine Corps. I had a buddy that is actually from Central City that told me, there was a promotion going on called WWA. So I'd watched some videos on YouTube, and I ended up going to a show. I talked to Chris. He brought me in for a tryout. I guess all went well.
The WWA fans let their voices be heard at every event.
It hits home for people. I think we still have a lot of fans that we've always been connected with, going back, 10 years ago. People know us.
They have this product in their backyard. They have this product, readily available to them. And I feel like in the smaller communities, like the Livermores and the central cities, that we are the stars.
If anything, I guess it's because we look more like them as opposed to, these big, beefy, musclehead guys on TV. We look more like normal people.
The fans, they do not like me, and I am okay with that.
The fans are great. They push me. If it wasn't for the fans, I wouldn't be, half of what I am. Just hearing the kids, they really get me going.
Well, I can say the fans don't like me. It's kind of like a person that doesn't like their boss or anyone better than them, but doesn't care to brag about it. Trying to be better than everyone else is kind of my thing I always strive for. And the fans see that and they do not appreciate that, but to each their own. I'm fine with it.
The fans adore me at times, and in reality, I adore them more than they could ever love me. And they seem like they legitimately care about me. So, I have the best fans in the world.
The fans and I have an interesting relationship. If they hate me, they love to hate me. If they love me, they absolutely love to love me. During my most popular days with them, there was not a more popular wrestler. And during my most hated days with them, I was probably only surpassed by my younger brother.
I just go out there and have fun, be myself, and people don't like it, because for whatever reason they don't like me, and that's fine with me because I don't really like them either. So yeah, I've been spit on, I've been hit, I've had things thrown at me. It's fun to me. I don't really care, but I just go out there, be myself, have fun. They don't like that, and they don't like me.
I think being a professional wrestler, the most important thing is that when you walk out of that curtain, if you're not getting some sort of reaction, whether that be hate or love, one or the other, you're not doing your job. They've always made my job very easy by reacting to me and what I'm doing.
Everyone involved at the WWA works hard to make sure that the show goes off without a hitch.
There's a group of guys that get together, usually get there several hours earlier, and they're starting to get the lighting rig ready that hangs over the ring. I'm usually helping with the ring itself, or I'm hauling bleachers, something along the lines of that.
Everybody shows up several hours before the show. The arena that we're in, starts off just with nothing in it, and slowly, we start bringing in the ring. You start putting the ring up. You start putting the lights up. You start putting up the entrance ways, and it's all hands on deck.
We set up the ring, which takes time and a lot of work with the cables and the wood, metal, and getting all that set up, and then we put out barricades, chairs, bleachers. So we're getting to the point now, we have so much stuff, we don't really have room on trailers for it. We don't have room in the garages for it, so everything's just getting bigger and bigger.
Our group is very close-knit, and they understand how everything works and that everyone's needed. It's a force fueled by teamwork, and for the most part, my roster completely understands that. But every day there's something to add to it, and They understand that, so therefore we work hours and hours on end before a show.
Other companies, the wrestlers usually come in, they wrestle, and they leave. But at the WWA, it's like a big family.
Once setup is done, I kind of get in my own little world. I put my headphones in, do some stretching, push-ups, things like that. Just kind of get my mind right and get ready to go.
Leading up to my matches and stuff, it's more mental than it is anything instead of physical. Thinking a lot about it, preparing for the match.
Sometimes you know who you're going to wrestle, you don't. You can go back and watch video of them. For the most part, I watch everything, so I know what I'm getting myself into, and I'm confident that I can hold my own against anyone on any roster. You can't go in there with any doubt. You got to go in there and know what you're doing.
I don't know how to explain it. It's unlike anything you've ever felt. Getting up in front of hundreds of people and doing what I do best.
A battle royal generally is a simple concept. You have to throw your opponent over the top rope, and both their feet have to hit the floor for them to be eliminated. You start off with 2 participants. Every minute and a half, another participant comes out.
The earlier you come in, the less chance you have of winning. The more wore down you get, the more beat up you get. You're pretty much just fighting to stay in the ring, and you're fighting to throw other people out.
You're going over the top rope to concrete. One false move and you can hit your head, anything. It's pretty dangerous. Nothing you should try at home.
During Kentucky's biggest battle royal, we're inviting everyone, every licensed competitor in the state of Kentucky, we're inviting to join us in that battle royal. So you're actually stepping in the ring with people who you've never met, who you don't understand, who you cannot trust. You don't really know what's in for you at all.
The war is always very special for me because I won the first one.
Preparing for it is a whole different world, because you don't have to worry about one person or 2 people. It's 30 people, so you never know what to expect.
The Waddell show, we're in force. I've got my little brother looking out for me. He's got my back, and because of that, we're going to go into this match and we're going to succeed. If it gets down between the 2 of us, he'll do the job and step over the rope.
I'm going in this one as a champion. I want to be known for being the best. I don't want to be known for being a guy who loses the belt more than once. The belt's the top prize. The top prize means that you're the top guy.
Everybody wants to be the world heavyweight champion. Everybody wants to carry that belt and know that everyone else in the locker room is looking up to you. You're the man now. You're the guy. You're the guy that the company believes in. You're the guy that everybody strives to be, and that's the most important thing to a lot of guys.
I ended up starting off number 1, not knowing who I was going to wrestle. Who was going to be number 2, and it ended up being Teddy.
I entered in as number 2, and I knew, going in at number 2, there's 28 other people coming out of here. There was Jordan starting off, so that's obviously not an easy task to begin with.
It's an equal chance here for Teddy King. It's the odds are not good when you start off this early.
The church members started coming out, and they kind of ganged up on us, and it gets exhausting. You'd be surprised at how it's the longest minute and a half ever waiting for somebody to come out.
Neck breaker delivered by Misfit Josiah to Roadkill.
We had a little incident with Jennifer. Our camera lady came out, and I helped her eliminate a guy named Travis Ball after she popped him in the mouth.
When I entered into the Battle Royal, the fans gave me a reception I didn't expect. Now, I've been going through a path here lately where I was teaming up with my little brother, and they didn't like that too much. They're not very fond of the superstar. So going into this Battle Royal, when I got the reception that I did, which was admiration from the people, I decided to take a lighter stand in that Battle Royal. So what I did was I went out and had a good time.
I came in the Battle Royal at number 10. I had previously just had a match against CCW, so I had already been in the ring once, so I was kind of worn down a little bit at that point. And when I came in, though, I was still ready.
I went on to be eliminated by the church.
The champion is gone! There will be a new champion!
They just both grabbed a hold of me and just chucked me out, and I hit very, very hard on the concrete and had to walk to the back.
When my brother came in, it reminded me that we were here to win this. We were here to win this event, win this championship.
And immediately both the Waddells go after him. They know they need to take out the tough man. Oh, you've got to be kidding me!
Whoa!
Superstar Ray Waddell just eliminated his brother.
He threw me over the top rope. And in that match, that means that I'm done. That means that the championship is, my goals of winning the championship is over.
Nothing personal. The title's on the line. He should know when the title's on the line, you do whatever you can to win.
My brother can say that it's every man for himself. He can put that over and he can say that, that's what it's about because he wanted to go on and win the championship.
This year I entered in at number 19 and I lasted till 26. It wasn't my most successful run in a Kentucky's Biggest Battle Royal. Hopefully next year, next chance, I will go the distance.
One of these men will leave WWA champion. Oh, wow! Kahaji Khan! Oh!
Oh!
Oh, you're kidding me!
Out of nowhere.
It's me, Ray, and Khan. And I know that one of the three of us is going to leave the new WWA champion. You know, and Khan and Ray start putting the boots to me.
You see the confidence and the cockiness in Kahaji Khan, knowing he has an ally in the superstar.
I was in the ring with two guys who have not been here near as long as I have. Two rookies, two young studs that very good wrestlers, very, very good.
And when they didn't expect it because they started to fight with each other, here comes my attack.
Oh, takes them both down.
You know, and I started to get the better of them. And all of a sudden, I eliminate Ray.
And it's a big clothesline. Teddy King has eliminated a superstar, Ray Waddell.
Took my eye off the ball, went to eliminate Kaji Khan, and out of nowhere, Teddy King eliminated me. And that wasn't a good moment. Because when you think you got it right there in your hand and someone grabs it from you, you know, it didn't set well with me.
From going the entire distance, running the entire gauntlet, and coming away with the biggest prize the WWA has to offer.
Yeah, but see, there's one thing that stands in his way, and his name is Kahaji Khan, the national champion, who's had that belt almost a year now.
Teddy King up high, misses with a Superman punch, and is going to be tossed over the ropes. Khan is going to win.
No, Teddy King. Teddy King, somehow.
Teddy King holds on for dear life. Khan thinks he's champion. And now he realizes the error of his ways. Low bridge! Low bridge! Low bridge! Teddy King has done it!
I eliminated him, and the place erupted. There's no better feeling. There's no better feeling at all, you know, than knowing that you've just accomplished, you've climbed this big mountain. They say the hardest part to do is stay on top. You know, it's hard to get there, but it's harder to stay on top when you have that big bullseye on your back and everybody's shooting for you. So I guess the next big thing for me is just asserting myself as that dominant figure, you know, as that champion, and weathering all the storm that the great superstars are going to throw at me.
He's a great worker, a little full of himself, but other than that, he's a great guy, and he deserves it more than anyone else did. besides Kahaji Khan.